So now the gathered ruffle skirt piece has been attached, and the next step is to hem it. So for my hem, and for a lot of your hems, the first thing you're going to want to do is try it on and determine how much shorter you want it. For mine, I'm kind of thinking I want it to be much shorter. And for a lot of you, that might be the case. You try it on and it's way, way, way too long. So what you want to do is first measure and determine how many inches you want it shortened. And then after you've done this, you can kind of work backwards. So if I say I want mine shortened 3.5 inches, that's fine. I'm going to do a 1/2 inch hem, let's say. So I need to actually cut it 3 inches off because I need to allow for that hem. So I think that sounds pretty good to me. Even if my hem is less, I think I would still be happy. Like if I cut 3 and I did a 1/4 inch hem, that's still a good length for me. And I like that. So when you decide, like say I do want 3 inches, you can play around with it, fold it up, see what you think. Maybe I'll do 2 5/8. Then you're going to measure and you're going to make dots all around where you want to cut it. Then you're simply going to cut on that dotted line. Now we are going to cut off where we serged. So then the next step after you cut it is to reserge it, and then you're ready to do your narrow hem. Another thing I want to point out when you are adjusting the length for a hem, you do want to make sure your edges are even and that you are putting some pins into place so that they stay even when you go to adjust the length. So putting a few pins in, and now I'm going to make my marks. I don't know, I'm thinking I will go ahead with 2.5. You can always go shorter, but you can't really go longer as easily. So I'm just going to make a mark, then I'm going to scooch over 2.5 again, make a mark, and continue to do that so you have a very clear cutting line. You're going to do that all the way across the front. If the back is together, then you don't need to worry about also doing it on the back. You could cut it at one time. If you wanted to do it separate, you could do that as well. And just do as many dots as you feel comfortable with, and then you can cut. Some of you will not need to do this. It just depends on if you need to adjust the length. So now I have my clear cutting line. I'm ready to cut it shorter. I'm cutting across my dots on my cutting line, and now I'm going to go and serge around the entire hem of my shirt so that I'm ready to do my narrow hem.